Greetings from the Strand Theater of Shelbyville. My name is Hillary Smith, and I'm a junior at Shelbyville High School.
I'm Jessica Cassar, and I'm a senior at SHS.
We're both members of our school's wind ensemble. We were honored to be part of a crew who videotaped interviews of several community members who served in our nation's armed forces and now call Shelby County their home.
This project is part of a grant that our school's band department received from the Indiana Arts Commission. It integrates the videotaped interviews with music written especially for our wind ensemble by some of our friends.
Our wind ensemble rehearsed, then recorded these original band pieces for this project. We also recorded some published patriotic arrangements that are used in this undertaking.
The project will also provide an archival history that outlines what life was like in our community and nation at the time these veterans were serving in the military. We realized that we couldn't possibly interview every veteran who has served our country and returned to our community.
We do, however, want to honor everyone who has dedicated a part of their life for service to our country. We hope this project serves as a reminder for us all to stop and think of people who are serving or who have served our country. This undertaking is our way of showing how grateful we are to all who have served, regardless of the time they spent in the military, their branch of service, or the duty they performed.
We chose ordinary people for this project, people whom you might see every day on the street, in the store, or even here at the Strand Theater. The important part of this endeavor is that we honor those who have served. Prior to this project, we went about our lives knowing that silent heroes live among us, but rarely does anyone acknowledge their service.
Now, we are honored to introduce to you a small sample of some of our community's veterans. We hope you'll take some time to pay respect to some of these silent heroes. It's never too late to say thank you and to learn more about those who helped to make our community a special place to live. One of the special people we interviewed was Rex Hindman. Here are some highlights of this interview. Welcome to the Strand Theater of Shelbyville, Mr. Hindman. You were selected to be part of this project because of your service in the armed forces and your role as a member of our community who may not receive a lot of notoriety or recognition for your service. A big part of this project is to learn about our past so we understand more about ourselves. It also helps us understand what makes our community special. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Well, let's see, I've been retired about 15 years. I've got a lovely wife, Bernice. I've got 4 children grown, all with good jobs and all on their own. And we see them as often as we can. I've got 11 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, and lots of friends.
Okay. Are you in any memberships or clubs in the community?
Yes, mostly military affiliated, American Legion, VFW, Masonic Lodge and so forth.
Yes. Do you have any hobbies or special interests?
Well, we play a lot of golf. We don't play good golf, but we do play a lot of golf, and we try to do a lot of church work over at First Baptist, and there's always just plenty of volunteer work over there to be done if we can get somebody to do it, so it keeps us busy finding volunteers to get the job done, but that does keep us busy.
Okay. Have you lived in this community all your life?
No, but I wish I could have. It's been wonderful to us. I moved here when I was 31, and I lived in southern Illinois up until that time. And I heard about Indiana and I wanted to get over here.
What are your most special memories of this community?
The warmness of the people. Anytime they need something done, they usually get enough volunteers. Somebody comes in and helps. And you have a lot of good organizations, a lot of volunteers. I know my wife volunteers at the hospital, and she's got quite a few friends that volunteer with her up there. And with our church work, so much volunteerism, and the people are just really good and friendly. It's just a nice place to live.
What is it about this community that makes you proud to be from here?
Mostly the genuineness of the people, and if you want any help on anything, it's pretty easy to get it, and you don't always have to pay for it. Somebody's always glad to help out.
With what branch did you serve in the military?
I started in the Marine Reserve, and I was in that for a year, and then when we decided to go to active duty because we thought we might get drafted, in fact we were pretty sure we would get drafted, they didn't have the schooling we wanted at that time, so 13 of us from our town went over to, actually we were on the campus signing up for our sophomore year of college, that we knew we wouldn't be there long enough to finish it. So we all went down to the post office and joined the service. And then went home and said, guess what, Mom and Dad?
Yeah. Okay, can you briefly describe your time in the military?
Yes, it was four of the best years I ever had in my life. I can recall, without trying, so many minute things that happened, and so many people that you really got close to, and you learned so much. You saw places that you never thought you'd ever see, and you learned a lot of discipline. You learned that your idea wasn't always the best, but you learned how to get along with people from every walk of life you can imagine, and it just kind of made you believe that a friend was a stranger you hadn't met, because you would be assigned, like in our basic training, 60 of us, 20 were from New York, 20 from Illinois, and 20 from California, and that was a real mixture, but we all learned to get along good.
Describe what life in this community was like at the time you entered the service.
Well, it was mostly guys trying to get a job. They were coming back from the service. The war had ended in Second World War ended in '45, and I went in service in '48. And mostly it was a matter of survival. There were not too many jobs available, and they were pretty good to the returning servicemen. Though they made schooling available, and the guys I went to school with, we were 18 and 19, and they were old men of 24, 23 and 24, and they were really serious because they had started a family and they had to have a job, and we were just going along for the ride, more or less at that age. But that was the main thing, was trying to get schooling and try to get a job.
What were some of the hot topic issues of the day?
A whole lot of it was the Marshall Plan. No country has ever been as good as the United States in helping their defeated enemies recover, and Europe was completely destroyed, and the Marshall Plan put them right back in place. And in Japan, they were told that we would practically eat them alive, and MacArthur came in and made friends of all of them, and they just worshiped him. And it was a whole lot. It was just getting the past of the war over. They bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and we got to go by one of those, and it just blew your mind. You couldn't imagine the devastation. But basically, it was a transition, I think, from wartime to peacetime.
What events happened back home while you were away?
Well, my best buddy gave in and got married. We was going to take off and see some of the world. I got to thinking, I've already seen most of it, whatever, but he got married, and my old dog that I'd had for 15 years died, and Dad had gone into the hardware business, and most of the people had just, you can't stop time. Everything, you just have to catch up with it.
I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to thank you. It's the little things in life that sometimes make the biggest difference. One of the little things I'd like to say is thanks. Thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for making our community a special place to live. Thank you for the lessons you taught me tonight about honor, sacrifice, loyalty, bravery, esprit de corps, and commitment to a greater good. Mr. Rex Hindman, our community salutes you for your service.
Thank you, Hillary. Very, very nice. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.